My name's Tempest. I've been a plumbing and heating engineer for best part of 25 years now. I grew up in a little town just outside of, about 20 miles outside of Leeds called Nottingley. My dad was a plumbing and heating engineer, and I naturally came into the family business. Me and my sister have taken it over. I run the engineering side of things, the day-to-day stuff for the engineers, making sure everything's as it should be. She deals with the stuff that I can't stand, which is the office side of things, so it works quite well for us, to be fair. There were two things I wanted to be growing up, which were one was a fireman, one was a plumbing and heating engineer, because I enjoyed the hands-on work. And back then, you had to be 21 before you could get into the fire service. And by that time, I'd started earning decent money, so the fireman dream died. The biggest advice I give to all apprentices is you've got to make yourself invaluable, because if you're not seen to be valuable to your engineer, then unfortunately they're not going to invest their time in you if they don't believe that you're of value to them. And I know that can sometimes sound a bit harsh, but that's the reality of it, because we live in a world where time is money, unfortunately. The job I'm most proud of, so it was actually one of my submissions to the Installer Awards. I had a 200-year-old house which had radiators in, cast iron column radiators from 1954, and the customer wanted to retain these all the way through the house, and they wanted to keep them exactly as they were, recore them, everything completely original. The customer didn't want to change, compromise on anything, so obviously, but bring it up to modern day standards. This meant a lot of working out and a lot of calculations, because they wanted low temperature heating, but using the old-fashioned column radiators, which were probably designed to be on solid fuel, so you'd have had flow temperatures of like 85, 90 degrees. I was trying to get them to work on 50. In the end, I had to go up to 55, but still, it's very good. And I had to, because the radiators weren't big enough to get the heat output, I had to surface mount all the pipe work, to use the pipework then as a method of emitting heat. So I had to size the pipework correctly to add the additional heat, but also couldn't oversize it or undersize it to make sure that the flow rates were right within the system. So there were many sleepless nights, and it's probably my proudest job I've ever done. I have won a couple of awards for it. Not the one I wanted, but still, it is definitely by far my proudest moment, proudest job I've done, definitely. The balance of family life and work is, I'll be honest, it's hard, and I've got it wrong on many occasions, and it's something that I've had to learn over years, because at the end of the day, you've got to work, you're working as a team at home, and yes, you have to prioritise your customers, and you have to make them feel that they are the most important people out there. But the reality is, the most important person in your life is that person that's at home picking up the slack, and you have to get that balance right. Something that I've not done right for a very long time, but as time's gone on, I have got better at it. So now there's certain little things like there's a rule: the no phone on a Sunday. Nothing to do with work on a Sunday. That is a day off. That is for my wife and kids. There's various other things that we do to make that kind of work-life balance a little bit better. So when you can sacrifice, sometimes the late nights at work have to be offset with doing something a little bit more special on a weekend or something like that. So it is about balance. It's about getting it right. And like I say, I've been guilty of not getting that right on a number of occasions, but I like to think I'm getting better at it. Other than work, I don't normally walk around in Lycra. I'm a retired MMA fighter. I've been fighting for probably best part of 2 decades. I've competed in over 50 fights in various disciplines, in MMA, boxing, and so there's been a couple of titles in there. So there's been a lot of grappling tournaments as well. Again, with plenty of successful results in there, with gold, silvers, all that kind of stuff. I wouldn't say it was a hobby though. It kind of became all-consuming, and I really tried to get as far as I possibly could. Again, going back to what I was saying about getting the work-life balance right, getting that, but still being able to do something that you love it was hard. But it's almost been a necessity, because fighting was what I call my reset. And I think it's something that everybody needs to get, and everybody needs to find something. It doesn't necessarily have to be fighting. It could be playing chess. As long as you've got something in your life that for 2 hours you can sit down and nothing else matters. You can just switch off, because what it does, it allows you to reset. So the things that have been stressing you out and pissing you off and really getting you going, you step into whatever it is that you love, then for that 2 hours, nothing else matters. Then when you come off, and like say for me, when I came off them mats from training, all those things that were really getting to me didn't matter anymore. You looked at me, were like, it's not really a major problem. That's what fighting is for me, and that's what I love about fighting. Everybody, what I found over the years, meeting so many different people in different walks of life and that, everybody fights for different reasons. But for me, I fought because I love fighting. I love what fighting does. And like I say, I class that as my reset. And if I'm honest, it makes me a better person. It really does. Fighting's, unfortunately, as much as the heart's willing, the body doesn't quite agree. Fighting now is just for fun, and hopefully giving a little bit of what I know to people that are coming through. Because if I'm honest now, I see some of these kids that have got access to all the training facilities that they have. I'm glad I'm retired, because they're absolute killers. So training from a fighting perspective now, I'm just enjoying having my reset on the mats and then going home and eating a pizza. And as far as work's concerned, the business is going from strength to strength. We're moving into renewables. We're moving into various other. We're doing a lot of social media kind of content creation and promoting. And so this is where it's going, because as far as I'm concerned, the social media aspect of businesses is the future. So that's the direction that we're moving into, and loving every second of it.